Welcome to the Women Inspire Aspire podcast. In this podcast, I talk to Shikha Kashyap Singh about career counseling.
Hi Shikha, thank you for accepting my invite to appear in the podcast. How are you doing today?
Hi, Venkat. I'm doing great. And thank you for the opportunity and for the invitation.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure to have you in the podcast. Would you please go ahead and tell a bit about yourself, your background, where do you live, etc.?
Yes, so I live in northern part of India, specifically in Punjab, and I have been doing corporate training for past 1 year. Before that, I have been a part of a university management team where I was leading the quality assurance cell for soft skills training and development for college students, specifically for placements. And before that, I worked as a soft skills trainer in another university. Maybe you heard about it. It's Chandigarh University. So I worked there. And now, after my wedding, I was supposed to leave the job for the university because I was not able to balance everything. So I did CELTA in that break. And after CELTA, I got the global exposure. So right now, I'm working with a German firm, Speaks, and I'm training corporate people from different brands, different sectors, and different industries from different countries for the language.
That's wonderful. Great. So it's great to know about your wide, vast experience, and you've been in the field for the past 8 years, if I'm not wrong. What aspects of your background, say, for example, IELTS, soft skills, career planning, which one do you find the most synergistic to your current work that you're doing right now?
Okay, I think I would say the career planning part is one where I'm really interested, and the second part is language training.
Okay. Could you please
Yeah.
elaborate on how it
Mhm.
is interesting to you?
Yes. So when we talk about career planning, the seed of this part in my life has sown really early when I was a child and I was in my school. I remember our teachers used to tell us that, you have to prepare for IITs and NITs and you have to crack that exam after your 12th. It will change your life, it will make your life. But the problem and the gap, which is still there, is nobody is going to tell you what you're going to do after cracking that exam. Everyone knows that you will be in IIT, you will be in NIT, but nobody is going to tell you what work you're exactly doing. And that's where this career opportunity as a career planner comes into the picture. Because I think because of this gap in Indian education system, a lot of students don't know why they are studying, for what they are preparing, and what is going to be their future, which leads to unemployment ultimately when they complete their professional degree in the university. So, when I was in the school, I had the same problem that I know I'm preparing for IIT, I'm preparing for NIT, but what I'm exactly going to do once I'm done with my degree was something I was not aware about. So when I completed my degree and I entered in the college, I changed my stream to arts. So the first thing that triggered my mind was in the second year of my graduation, where I realized that, okay, I'm doing a degree, I will be a graduate next year. But what after that? What is the end goal of this degree? So I think that is where the seed of this, you can say, this side of my thought has sown. And that is where I started thinking that how I can help others also. Eventually, when I completed my grad, I moved to my postgrad. And after that, I was blessed enough to start my career as an IELTS trainer. And when I moved from there to the university as a soft skills trainer and started preparing students for the placements, I realized that I was not alone in this journey. There are a lot of people who are brilliant and they're doing a lot of things, but they don't know the end goal. So that's when I discovered that, okay, this is a gap. And that's when this career opportunity came in my mind. And I was blessed that my department gave me an opportunity to think in this lane and help our students in creating their career journeys, preparing presentations for multiple departments, where I did an analysis that if someone is doing a degree, for example, as a as a BSc pharmacy student, then what are the possible career prospects they have? And if they're looking for that career, what skills they need? What skills are demanded in the industry? And then those skills will land up into what kind of jobs. So basically, that's how this point of view of as a career planner developed.
That's wonderful to know. Now, coming from the individuals, of course, your client's perspective, what are some of the first steps that you take with individuals to broaden their understanding of career opportunities?
Oh, that's a that's a really nice question. So I want to share a story with you. I was a part of management team in a university, Maharishi Markandeshwar, deemed to be University Ambala, and I got an opportunity to be the part of their education fest in Delhi. I think in 2022. So I met a lot of people there, and the only question I asked to those students was why you want to study. And you would be surprised to know that students were initially having no answer. But when I kept on asking them, okay, you want to do this degree? Why? So by asking this question again and again, that if they're saying, okay, I want to do this because my elder brother's suggestion, or my sister is saying the future is quite bright here. So then I ask them, okay, what do you think? So I think when I ask people about the reason of the choice, that's how I can help individuals in understanding what they're really looking forward to. And I remember that at that time, so many students came up and they said that, ma'am, I really got a clarity today that what I want to do in my life, and I'm ready to take a stand for that. So I think you need to give reasons for your choices, and that's how individuals can actually find out what they really want. And there's one more thing that I used to tell my students when I was in the college, that job or business or work in itself has a lot of pressure. So if you're doing something that you don't want to do, then you will be in a trap where salary will come. It will motivate you for 5 days, and then you will be demotivated for another 15 days, waiting for the next salary to come. So you will not be a human anymore, because it's like you are asking a fish to climb the tree, which is not possible. So I always ask them to choose a career and to know the reason why they're doing it, so that when they do their work and things become heavy on them, they are ready to manage them, because that's the only way that life can be happy, and on the same time, they are financially secured.
Yes, of course. So the satisfaction comes from what you really want to do. So
Yes.
great. And how do you approach dispelling the fear of English language in your training? What specific learning hacks and observational skills do you utilize?
Okay, so I want to tell you that again, this teaching English language is again a pain point that I had in my life. So I want to tell you that I belongs to Himachal Pradesh, and I belongs to a village area from Himachal Pradesh. So when I used to go to the school, my school never forced us to speak English. Yes, I studied in English medium school, but I never spoke English. But when I entered in my college, I was stuck because people were coming from different parts of the country. And India, being a blessed country with a lot of languages, it was really a challenge to talk to people. So for approximately 2 months, I couldn't make a friend or couldn't talk to anyone because of the language barrier. Sometimes their fluency was so high that I couldn't match that, I couldn't understand. Sometimes their vocab was so high. So, considering all those points, I understood that language is a problem, and that's when I started learning it. So, because I was learning it by my own, I used to just echo what people used to say. So, for example, I heard a word and I'm going to use it for a week or so. And that's how I started speaking English. Now, when I reached in the college and started teaching as a soft skills trainer, I remember a lot of students, specifically from Haryana, Bihar, and southern part of the country. They were having a lot of challenges in matching the right fluency and the right pronunciation levels. So that's when I understood again that, okay, this is a pain point that people have. And my suggestion to all the people who are learning any language is that there is no shortcut to it. People will come and tell you that, you learn these 500 words, 1,000 words, 100 words, and things will work out. But that's not how it happens. Because ultimately, you're going to use that language in your day to day work and your conversations. So, the best way to learn any language, including English, is to learn it in the real world scenario. So, my only tip is that when someone is learning a language, they should not think about the rules. Instead of that, they should think about, if I'm talking to someone on a phone call, what possible questions can be asked and how I can answer that. Or if I'm in a restaurant ordering food, then what possible questions can be asked and how to answer that. So once you start practicing it in that way, you will learn the language more efficiently and you will be able to use that language. Otherwise, you know the rules, like we all know, but you are not using it when you're speaking. So learn it in the real environment.
Okay, great. So, talking about the geopolitical vision and industrial demands that you mentioned, how do you integrate these into the individual career planning and personality development?
Okay. So I really appreciate your deep research now. Okay. I want to tell you that I did my master's in geopolitics and feminism from Punjab University. And geopolitics is basically how geography defines the political decisions and the political situations of different countries. And feminism defines the fragile situation of the genders that are more vulnerable in the society. So this is the study that I did in my master's, and how I integrate it, especially in soft skills and English language training, is when you are training students for placements and for soft skills, you need to give them multiple perspectives. Like students need to think beyond the boundaries, especially in this era where artificial intelligence is taking over a lot of jobs. There, if you are not a creative person, if you don't see the coin from all the angles, you cannot make a difference and you will stay unemployed. So that's how I uh, indulge and I create a modified version of my language classes by using my knowledge from multiple geographies, multiple behaviors that people have, and how you blend in as a human, can manage a team, can create a long term profile in your corporate world, and how you can be a human in this era of AI, because that is how you can just save and survive your financial health.
Right. Great. So,
Yeah.
great to know about that part of your work. And how do you measure the success or the impact of your training and coaching on the individuals that you work with? Do you have any kind of metrics?
Yes, definitely. So, as we talk about language training, then there are parameters, we call them CFBR levels. They are Common European Framework for Language. So, under those, under this framework, there are multiple rubrics, and through those rubrics, you can see if the person is A1, A2, B1, B2, or C1, C2 level. So that's one way of measuring it if I'm training someone on the basis of language. Now, if I'm training a student for, let's say, their placement, so once they get the job, that's how we measure the success. And also, I give training for IELTS exams. So, again, once they get their desired band score, that's how we measure it. And last but not the least, sometimes people just come for knowing how to put forward their opinions and how to create an opinion. So if they are able to communicate their ideas better, if they're able to think out of the box, that's how I see that training was successful or not. That's the only way. Yeah.
Great, wonderful. And let's talk about the non-verbal skills, right? So, non-verbal skills word per words in the interviews. And what is the most critical non-verbal cue that you can think of and that you can focus in your training? And how are these non-verbal skills impactful in the career counseling?
All right, I'll tell you one thing. So we are humans and we are We can manipulate our words. We have that tendency. But the problem with nonverbal cues, your facial expressions, your body language, your gestures, this is something that humans cannot control. And that's why body language has a lot of influence when we talk about communication. For example, imagine that I'm entering in the interview room. So before I even start giving my introduction, I walked in that room. I made an eye contact with them. I pulled a chair for myself. I sat down there. So in that duration, the other person can definitely judge that is the person confident, overconfident, professional, unprofessional, even before I say a word. We are humans and we make a perception. So that's when the nonverbal skill becomes more important. Because even before you say your name, someone has an image of who you are or who you can be, right? So that's why I always tell my students or my clients that when you are meeting someone, you have to deliberately control your facial expressions. You cannot frown even if you are not interested in the conversation and you are sitting with your boss. You need to make sure that you tell them from your body language that you know what you're doing, you know your job well, and there is a way to put forward your ideas. You don't have to be aggressive all the time. Having an assertive body language can always help. Now, what is the meaning of assertive body language? It means you're confident in your own self. Your body is in your control. You are not, I would say, clumsy. You are not unmanaged. If you're going for a meeting, for example, then you have your documents ready. You know what you're going to talk about. And the most important thing is when we talk about the verbal content, you have to be very specific. If you're not specific, if you're beating around the bush, ultimately you will see that you will lack, uh, your voice will lack the importance in that conversation. So, this is something I always tell to my clients and my students that whenever you enter a place, enter like a king. I know that at different situations we get nervous. I also get nervous. But the only thing I tell to myself is only I know what is the reality. And whatever I will say, whatever I will show is what other people will see and know. So I have to be smart enough when I'm speaking something and when I'm showing them things through my body language and my expressions and my eye contact. Yeah.
Okay, great. Now let's talk about your future plans. What are your future goals as a career strategist and a personality development trainer? What kind of impact do you hope to make in the long run?
Okay, Venkat. So at the moment, as I told you, I'm working with a German company, Speaks. So what I'm actually trying to do there is I'm trying to understand how corporates work across the globe. Number one. Number two, what kind of challenges corporate employees are actually facing because I'm training them on the daily basis. So I know what kind of challenges they're facing. So for now, I have plans to continue with this for another 1 year to understand the needs and to understand the ground reality. And once I will be more clear about it, I am planning to create a corporate training firm within the country. And that's how I have planned it for myself. That's why I created a company known as Vision Hunters. So this is the future. And second thing is, I am also planning to write a book, and it is in the process. So I'm writing a book for helping people in speaking English and using it for multiple purposes, specifically for the students of IELTS and the students who are preparing for the competitive exams within the country. So I am writing a book right now and creating some YouTube videos where they can learn those chapters in a little more detail. So this is the plan for now. And let's see how it goes. But I want to enter in the corporate industry now. That's the plan.
Wonderful. All the best for your initiatives. What are the specific trends or the latest trends, I would say, and best practices in career development, language training, and personality development that you want to stay updated in? What are the latest trends that you are seeing?
All right. So the latest trends that I am seeing in the soft skills industry specifically is the capacity of learnability. I think that because of AI, uh, this is something that so many students are struggling with. That today, if I have a question, I can ask ChatGPT. If I want to write a code, I can ask ChatGPT or other online tools to help me with the code. And that is taking away the capacity to learn because we know we have a one-stop solution. So I think learnability is a skill that I think will become rare in the upcoming future. So that's one thing which will become a trend that people are uh, not ready to learn and explore. So the ones who are ready to learn and explore, they will get more value. Second thing is adaptability, because we being surrounded by artificial intelligence and social media are so much involved into our own selves that we don't know how to socially discuss our ideas. We have lost that sense of putting forward our arguments in the most subtle manner, in the most professional manner. So I think that part, adaptability, teamwork, is something that is going to be the trend and going to be a rare skill which people should work on. On the side of language, I would say English language is taking over a lot of part across the globe. And I can say it quite confidently because I am working with people from Spain, people from Africa, people from China, and everyone is just trying to learn English. And that too, like they want to learn it overnight, which is not possible. But English has become a trend. And I think that uh, with time, people will only focus on this one language because every country wants to grow and every company wants to grow. And for that, they're ready to compromise on their old beliefs. For example, I remember 10 years back that if someone has to go and work with a Chinese firm, they need to learn Mandarin. But now China as a country is opening up and they are saying that, okay, we accept English. They're also inviting teachers. Like I have also got some invitations to teach in some Chinese universities because of CELTA. So I think English language is also becoming a trend. And across the globe, soft skills is gaining strength because after the intervention of robotics and AI in the industry, we are losing humans. We are losing the human touch in everything. We are losing the innovation touch in everything. So I think being innovative and being the out of box thinker is something that's going to trend in the upcoming future.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing that. And we have spoken a lot about your work. Now let's get to the fun stuff. What are your hobbies and interests, and what do you do for fun?
Okay. So for fun, I usually spend time with my family. I love that. And sometimes I try to learn piano. That's something I like. Or sometimes I play with kids at home. I think these are the hobbies I have. I'm trying to develop the hobby of reading because I'm not good at reading. So I'm trying to develop that these days. But yeah, that's all. So I usually love to spend time with my family. So that's my best hobby.
Oh, great. So, talking about the piano, are you trying to learn Western classical or what kind of piano stuff are you learning?
Basic piano. Like I remember it was my husband's birthday, so I wanted to surprise him. So I learned a happy birthday tune, for example, on piano using YouTube. And then I wanted to sing a lullaby for my child. So I was trying to learn that particular song on piano just for them. So yeah, this kind of thing, not a specific zone or something like that.
Wonderful. Thanks for sharing that. Now, let's talk about the societal issues that you care about, apart from, of course, the career development and all that. What are the societal issues that bother you, and do you get a chance to work on them or do something about them?
Okay. Um, Honestly, I want to tell you one thing that as we grow up, definitely we have a different perspective. So if you would have asked me this question 2 years back, I had a lot of things in my mind that I care about. But as I grew, I'm growing older, I think that I've learned this, that you cannot change the world. And if you go ahead and think that I'm going to bring a change overnight, that's not possible. So I believe that let's do one thing at a time that you can change. So in society, there are a lot of things that bother me, specifically the vision and the viewpoint about being a feminist is something that bothers me a lot. I have seen people coming across on Instagram and speaking about feminism, speaking about women rights, speaking about how they see it, speaking about equality that is not actually equality. Then I have seen people coming up from some lower middle class areas and then complaining that they are not getting employed. So these are certain societal issues that are really painful. But the problem is that people are not aware. For example, when we say that I am a feminist, the true definition of a feminist doesn't mean that you are there for women rights. It means you are there for anyone who is not capable to fight for themselves. It can be a man, it can be a woman, it can be a old age person, it can be a dog. So if you are standing for someone who cannot stand for themselves, any fragile or any vulnerable character across the world, you are a feminist, right? And this is something that people don't know. Second thing that is actually problematic is when it comes to opportunities. I think that even after getting developed in our thoughts for years and ages now, still, if you go for employment opportunity or when you go for certain examinations, I think that still there are biases when it comes to uh, different genders. There are biases when it comes to different job opportunities. So I think they are a problem. But as I told you, that with age, I've got matured enough to understand I cannot change the world overnight. So what I can do is I can change one thing. I can make sure that I don't practice anything wrong. At least I can control myself. So this is the only thing that I do. If I am getting any opportunity uh, in terms of in terms of employment, I always make sure that I give it a chance, a fair chance, so that I don't crib that I'm not getting the work. I always give a chance to every opportunity I get. And when it comes to being a feminist, I always stand up for the rights of anyone who is weaker around me. Because I cannot change the entire society, but I can definitely change my viewpoint to it. And I always make sure that I don't practice only things for myself. I believe in giving back to the society. So, whenever and however possible, whatever financial, emotional, educational help I can do, I always make sure that I do it for people because I can only take my guarantee. So, yeah, that's my part. And I believe that if I'm doing my part, I am contributing to the world's betterment. So that's my societal viewpoint, that I can do my bit. And I believe that whatever I feel is right from societal viewpoint, from gender's viewpoint, I always make sure I do it right. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thanks for sharing that. And I agree with you that the butterfly effect of doing your bit and then hoping that that creates a flutter around the world someday in some way works. And let's all hope for that. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. We are coming to the end of the podcast. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I have a question. I want to know that what motivated you to actually talk to people, record this podcast, and publish it? Like, what motivated you to start this, and How is it going with you?
So yeah, I should write a blog on this because, or I should do a podcast on this. And
Yes, you should. Yes.
so yeah, so the motivation is just to talk to people. So that's how it started. So the question is the answer. I like to talk to people, so I wanted to start a podcast to talk to people. And it all started with a friend who introduced me to some 25 people, and they did the podcast with me. And then the LinkedIn came by, and I'm getting a lot of references in LinkedIn. And then I approached them and do the podcast with them. So where this is going is that I want to do it continuously. And I think there
Mm-hmm.
are a lot of unheard voices in the society, and I want to give an opportunity for people to come and talk. There
Mm-hmm.
are people who are very good at what they are doing, and but they are nervous to talk, in a public forum. I just want to have this as a platform for them to express themselves. I know of a very senior person who is doing a fantastic job. When I approached her for a podcast, she said, "No, I don't want to do that on a public platform."
Mm-hmm.
So there are people like that. I want to break that barrier and make people come forward to talk and express their views, whatever it may be. I have spoken to people who are against mining, and there are people who are, into mining. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's like I don't have an opinion on what they do. It's just that I feel that they should have an opportunity to express themselves. So that's what this podcast is about. It's about life experiences more than
Yeah.
profession or a job or a career, which anyway many other podcasts are doing on a focused basis. So if you look at
Mm-hmm.
my episodes, it's like diverse set of audiences from various fields. So I'm not focusing on any
Yes.
one specific career. So it's going well. We have completed around 67 episodes so far. I
Mm-hmm.
started in July 2024, and
Mm-hmm.
I want to do one per week moving forward, and it's going well with all your blessings. So that's about it.
Oh, that's nice. I wish you hit 100 soon. Yeah. All the very best for your journey.
Oh, thank you. So I have a lofty goal of doing 1,000, but yeah, 100 would do for now.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for taking part in the podcast. I wish you all the best in your life and whatever you plan to do and aspire to do in your life. Please take care and keep in touch, and bye for now.
Yeah, sure, Venkat. You do take care, and it was really nice talking to you. Have a great day, and I wish you all the best for your future podcasts. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
That was a great podcast with Shikha Kashyap Singh. Please subscribe to this channel and follow it for more awesome podcasts. Opinions expressed by the guests in this podcast are their own. The host or the sponsors of the podcast do not condone the opinions expressed by the guests or the actions arising out of those opinions. Any decisions or actions that the listeners might take as a result of listening to this podcast must be based on their own judgment and will be at their own risk. The podcast host or their sponsors will not be held responsible for the consequences of any actions and or decisions taken as a result of any content in this podcast.